Very good morning to all. Today I will start with the lecture 2, that is classification of surveying. When we talk about surveying, so basically surveying is having two main classification, that is the primary classifications. The first one is plain surveying and the second one is geodetic. Generally each and every exam from the surveying they have a main question that what is the main difference between plain surveying and geodetic surveying. Being as a surveyor you should know that what is plain surveying and what is geodetic surveying. So let's see what is plain surveying and what is geodetic surveying. Plain surveying is specific type of surveying where the surface of the earth is considered as a plane and the curvature of a earth is not taken into account. So what happen when we do the survey, suppose karo that this is the particular area we have and this area is very small. So in that case what we consider, suppose this is the dimension, suppose this is point A and this is point B. So in that case what is this line is considered as a straight line. Okay, so such type of survey is considered as a plane surveying. But as we know that our earth is having a what spherical shape, so the distance we measure, suppose from this point to this point, a small area, suppose this is point A, this is point B, it can be considered as a straight line. But when we talk about a large area, suppose these are the points, this is point A and suppose this is point B. So we cannot consider the distance between this point A and B is a straight line because it is actual a curved line. So that is the main difference between plane surveying and geodetic surveying. So let me erase this one. So I guess you have got the idea what is plane surveying and what is geodetic surveying. And what are the major difference here that we have to keep in mind? The line connecting any 2 point is a straight line that I already discussed. And if we taking the angle, so obviously in case of small area, straight lines are there. So whatever the polygons we are taking, they are as a plane angles. And the area up to which we can consider the surveying as a plane surveying is up to 250 square kilometer. If area is less than equal to 250 square kilometer, so in that case what is this is your plane surveying. Okay, so next we will talk about geodetic surveying. See, here is the two diagrams we can see here. One is explaining the plane surveying and second is explaining the geodetic surveying. You can see here that earth surface is here and in this case this is the topography and the distance between these 2 points is taken as a straight. Okay, this is plane surveying. And in this case this is geodetic surveying. You can see that this is the actual topography of the area and the point is this is A, this is B. So in that case up to small area it can consider as a straight, but if it is large area, this point to this point, we cannot consider it as a straight because actual topography is like this. So we have to consider the curved surface. So that is the main difference between plane surveying and geodetic surveying. Okay, now next one is geodetic surveying. Now in this case only one thing is that is different from the plane surveying, that area is greater than. So what is in this case geodetic surveying, area is greater than equal to 250 square kilometer. So in that case such type of surveying is considered as a geodetic surveying. And whatever the distance between the 2 points, suppose this is point A, this is point B, it is not considered, suppose this is B, suppose this is C, it is not considered as a straight. Instead of this it is considered as a curved one. Okay, so that is the main difference between plane and geodetic surveying. So this is very important question, so please keep in mind that while you are answering what is the main difference between plane surveying and geodetic surveying. So whatever we have discussed in the previous slide, so each and every point they are discussing the same thing. Only the last point is here that in case of plane surveying we use the instrument like chain, tape, theodolite to locate the points on a earth. While in case of geodetic, when we are talking about a large area survey, in that case we use the advanced instrument like GPS, that is global positioning system. So these are the major points. Now the next one is classification of surveying. When we do the classification of a surveying, so it is on the basis of number of things that we have to classify it. So the first classification, that secondary classification we are doing at present, so based on a instrument, obviously surveying is done with a numerous instruments. So on the basis of instrument, it also identify as a surveying classification. So we use chain. So such type of surveying is classified as a chain surveying. Second one is we use compass. So it is identified as a compass surveying. The third one is we use plane table. So it is considered as a plane table surveying. We use theodolite. So in that case, such type of instrument, such type of surveying is called theodolite surveying. We use total station. So such type of surveying is called total station surveying. And if we use what aerial topography view, so such type of photography surveying. So these are the different classifications of surveying on the basis of instrument. You can see that the first word of the surveying is on the basis of instrument we use for survey. Okay, so this is the classification on the basis of instrument. Now next one is based on a method. When we perform survey, we use two methods in surveying. The first one is triangulation and second one is traversing. What is triangulation? Basically, suppose this is area, and in this area, suppose these are the station points. Suppose this is point A, this is point B, suppose this is point C, this is point D, and this is point E. So in that case, total area is divided into different segments, and each points are joined with a straight line and they form basically a triangle. So in that case, you can see that these all area is forming a triangle. I'm using a digital pen, so please make sure that these are the straight lines. So when total area is divided into number of triangle, this method is called basically a what? Triangulation method. Okay. The next one is traversing method. In case of triangulation, we used only which type of measurement? That is linear measurements. Now next one is traversing. Now what is traversing? Oh, wait 1 minute. I have to erase this one. When we used only linear measurements, then it is triangulation. But in case of traversing, we use angular measurements also. Suppose this is area and this is station point. This is station point A. This is station point B. Oh, sorry. Suppose this is point B. Suppose this is point C. And suppose this is point D. So in that case, what is, suppose this is the straight distance between A and B. Suppose this is B and C. And this angle is also measured between B and C. And this is suppose D and C. And this is A and D. So what is, these angles are also measured. So what is, when we use a different lines and they are connecting and they are forming either open loop or closed loop, such type of surveying is called basically a traverse. Okay, so on the basis of method in surveying, we use only two methods, that is either trigonometry or triangulations, and second one is traversing. So these are the two basic classification of surveying on the basis of methods. Okay, next one is based on a nature, that what type of nature we have. On the basis of, we have three main classification. The first one is land surveying, second is marine surveying, the third one is astronomical surveying. If we are doing the survey on a land or a earth surface, such type of surveying is called a land surveying. Generally we always perform maximum time of, we perform survey only on a ground. Suppose if you want to do a construction of a road, if you want to do a construction of a dam, and if you want to do a construction of a buildings, so these all things are constructed on a surface only. So such type of surveying is called a land surveying. The second one is marine surveying. Some of the projects they handle and they are within the oceans. What is this? Is ocean. So in this case, what is, these are the projects that we have to construct within the oceans. So such type of survey in which what we have to measure certain the depth of the riverbed, or we have to measure the other dimensions and details. Such type of surveying is called basically a marine surveying, that is related to water. An astronomical survey, what is, above the ground we have a space, okay, air and space. So if we do the survey related to space area, such type of surveying is called a astronomical survey. So these are the on the basis of nature we have three type of surveying. Now next one is classification on the basis of objective, that what type of objective we have. So the major objective in surveying is, the first one is geological survey. When we do any construction, the first thing is we have to identify the soil. Okay, so whatever the survey that is related to soil is called basically a geological survey. Mine surveying, in this case basically we do a underground minings to identify certain materials and certain sources from the ground. So such type of survey is called basically a mine survey. In this case, sometime we have to identify the coal from the underground sources. So such type of surveying is mine surveying. Archaeological surveying, such type of surveying is dealing with the ancient buildings and the ancient things or buildings that we that present, and we have to identify that what are the old things, and we have to start with the carbon dating and all that. We have to check what is the age of the object and all. So such type of surveying is basically a called what, archaeological surveying. The last one is military surveying. So military surveying is related to army area only. In this case, what they have to do survey for many purpose, like for identifying the enemy place and targets, and then they have to plan this strategy and all. Such type of surveying is called basically a military surveying. Now the classification that we left with, topography surveying and cadastral. Topography survey is basically done with the help of helicopters, aeroplanes, and we use basically a radar system here. So in that case, what, that from the top we click the pictures and we collect the data of the area, that what are things are present on the particular area. And then we have cadastral surveying. Cadastral surveying is performed on a small scale so that we can identify the property line area and the state lines area and the country line area. So that is basically a cadastral surveying. Now next one is, what is the main principle of surveying? This question is very important and it is asked many times in exam too. Principle of surveying. So always remember that there are two principles of surveying. The first one is working from whole to part, and the second one is to identify the position of unknown points with the help of known points. When we start the surveying, so we have to always work on these two principles so that we can achieve our object, okay, or objective. So this is the main principle we will discuss in the next slides. The first one is working from whole to part. What is, why we not work from part to whole? We always work from whole to part. Suppose this is the suppose this is the area. So we have to always first identify the boundary line and we have to identify the points on the boundary line. Suppose these are the station points. And then what we do that, on the basis of method of surveying, we have a triangulation method also. All the station points are joined together and area is divided into number of triangles. Okay, so in this case, what is, we always start work from outer boundary area to inside. So in that case, what such principle is known as what, working from whole to part. Always first outer boundary will be identified, then work will be done to inside part. So this is called basically a work from whole to part. Now, what is the purpose of working from whole to part? Why we have to use, what is, to locate the error, to localize the error basically. If we work from one point to the second point, okay, so what is, we are working from part to whole. Suppose this is point B. So when we reach at point B, what is the probability that at each point there is a accumulation of error? So we will not reach the exact point, but it is the approximate point. So there is what, there is accumulation of error. But when we talk about from this point, and suppose this is B point, and we are, these are the boundary points, suppose this is A and this is B, and we start working from this point and from this point only. So in that case, what is, there is a very less probability of accumulation of error. So that's why we always adopt first this method to work from whole to part, and we will not adopt this method that is working from part to whole. Okay. So this is being achieved by establishing a hierarchy of a network of a control points, and the less precise networks are established within the higher precision network and thus restrict to the error. The same thing is when lines are joined together, so we always work from whole to part. Now identify the position of a new station point. What is, suppose this is the area and these are the objects that we have present there, and suppose this is point A. We have taken all the details from point A, but it is not able to collect the details of this point. So what is, we have taken this point B, and we already established this point B point, and we have also taken the reading from this B point also. But these 2 points are not sufficient to take the all the readings. So what we have to do, that we have to establish the another point, that is C. So this C is established with the help of A and B, and this point C will be established on a ground, and then other readings will be taken. Okay, so what is, this principle is known as what, identifying the position of a new station point with the help of two known points, at least two known points. So this is one of the again principle of the surveying. So this is all about different classifications of surveying and the principle of surveying. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the content, so please like the channel and subscribe the channel for a more technical information. Okay, bye.